Episode 53. I Can Speak. The newsreader appeared to be staring straight at Nishant as she began to read the news. Both the boys could not speak more than a dozen words in English. When the border police found them, they singularly failed to explain their situation as they barely knew the English language. One of the boys, later identified as Suresh, reached inside his bag perhaps to retrieve some identification papers, but the guard misunderstood his intentions and thought he was pulling out some weapon. So he shot at the boy with his pistol. Nishant felt his heartbeat jump up. These boys broke the law when they entered US illegally. But even more shocking was the fact that they had no knowledge of the English language. They couldn't ask help from a ranch owner who alerted the border police. The boys were severely dehydrated and hypothermia had begun to set in. They were out in the open for 72 hours in minus 20 degrees temperature. It is alarming to know that these Indian students cannot speak the English language at all. But shockingly, their English language exams show very high scores. Nishant switched off the TV. He didn't know how to react. Jagdish had already vanished. Nishant couldn't take his mind off Suraj and Karthik. When CNN flashed their photographs, Nishant wanted to run for cover. Just 6 months ago, Nishant had flown to Chandigarh for Suraj and to Pune for Karthik. Suraj was the third case. First Devika, then Prathamesh, and now Suraj. If Karthik does not survive, तो fourth case हो जाएगा. Embassy has been informed. Means बात यहाँ तक आएगी. पुलिस केस होगा क्या? Is this why Jagdish has vanished? Oh man. Though the AC was on, Nishant began to perspire. Am I panicking? Should I also go underground? But I can't. I can't leave Amma, Papa and Shikha and most importantly Mansi all alone. तो फिर क्या करूं? As a child, Nishant's first memories were of fights and shouting and violence. Papa did not earn anything at all. Amma worked in the railways and managed the entire house and the children. Nishant wanted to grow up and earn a big fat salary and give comfort and rest to Amma. But as the years rolled on, Nishant himself realized that his academic output was barely average. 6 months after his graduation, he finally got the job of video editor in a coaching center for English language training. That is where he first met Siddharth. Siddharth and Nishant would often take a sutta break at the chai ka tapri below their office. One day, casually, Siddharth asked him, Nishant, how good are you at English? Can you converse fluently? Nishant found this to be a strange question, but he smiled and answered, क्या सिद्धार्थ भाई, मैंने graduation ही English में किया है ना? Of course I can understand and talk in English. तो फिर put this knowledge to better use, Nishant. How much do you earn from this center? 12,000. A little extra for preparing the computer lab for English language exams. But that means 6,000 more, right? 18,000 में घर कैसे चलाएगा boss? Nishant felt as if Siddharth had punched him right in the face. 18,000 was indeed a very small amount. Plus, Nishant had fallen deeply in love with Mansi, who was pressurizing him to think of marriage now. Mansi lived with her relatives as she had lost both her parents, and she was desperate to leave the house of her relatives. How will you marry Mansi with such a meager salary, boss? Nishant was shocked because Siddharth had literally read his mind. Nishant felt a surge of anger welling up inside him. He felt angry at everybody, at Dad, at his own poor academic record, at his inability for not being able to earn enough. Shit यार, गुस्सा करने से कुछ नहीं होगा निशांत. Think of ways in which you can increase your income and give a luxurious life to your family. देख इधर, listen to me carefully and keep your lips sealed. That was the beginning of Nishant's life as a dummy exam writer for hundreds of Indians who were desperate to migrate to foreign countries, especially to the USA. They had bulging wallets, but no time, patience, or the ability to learn the language and then migrate to the US. Dekh Nishant, these people are too lazy and incapacitated to learn the language. But सालों के पास पैसा ही पैसा है. बस तो हम इनको अपने brains देंगे और ये हमको अपना पैसा देंगे. Nishant had jumped at the huge amount that he would earn out of each candidate. A whooping 1.5 lakhs. He would be flown to different cities of the country. Jagdish and Siddharth did the dirty work of getting false photographs in the hall tickets, duplicate passports, etc. The candidate would cough up almost 12 to 15 lakhs for the entire process. Gradually, Nishant got Mansi also into the business. Together, they began to earn 5 lakhs every month. Their lifestyle improved overnight and they shifted to a better home in a better area. Life set ho gayi thi yaar. In December, on a tip-off, one of the exam centers was raided and 3 dummy writers were arrested. The press had a field day and for weeks the story was covered. Their contact point Jagdish went underground. But once the heat of the matter lessened, Jagdish resurfaced and Nishant and Mansi began to fly around the country once more. But then 6 months ago, a group of illegal Indian immigrants were caught in the US. In that group was Devika, for whom Mansi had become the dummy writer. All of them possessed certificates with high scores in English language exam, but they couldn't speak more than a couple of sentences in English. The judge in the local US court was very critical of the exam process being conducted in India and wondered if the process was trustworthy. Eyebrows were raised, questions were asked, and screws were tightened. And then Prathmesh, uske baad Suraj, and then Karthik. They lost their lives because they couldn't talk in the English language and hence couldn't ask for any help at all. They had near perfect scores on paper but could neither understand nor talk in the English language. The Indian exam system became the laughing stock all over the world. CNN, BBC, ANI, Reuters, beyond, all the news channels ran this story. Nishant stopped his car on the under construction flyover. He lighted another cigarette. Somehow his palms shone red in the dim glow of the lighter. Did he have blood on his hands? Was he responsible for the death of 4 people? Will he be able to claim innocence in the court? What will happen if he gets caught? His locker will be raided and all the cash will be confiscated. They will also find out that he bought his car with cash payment. How will he account for paying 7 lakhs in cash? On paper, he was still earning 20,000 rupees per month as video editor of the Fly High Language Center. तो उसमें से 3 बेडरूम का घर, फ्रिज, स्मार्ट टीवी, आईफोन, कार, ये सब कैसे आ गया? What will happen to Mansi and to their unborn child? To अम्मा, पापा, शिखा? सब बर्बाद हो जाएगा, सब खत्म हो जाएगा. Police will torture him. Nishant recalled all the horror tales of prisoners being ill-treated in jail. Will he also be beaten up? Sexually assaulted? Oh God, what if they arrest Mansi also? उसके साथ भी यही हाल होगा. Oh God, shit, no. Nishant felt that the skies were slowly descending down onto him and they were going to engulf him. He began to breathe heavily. One by one, the more than 4 dozen candidates for whom he had become the dummy examinee began to flash by in his mind. They had made him rich, very rich. But once caught, they will all point fingers at Nishant. The 4 dead will point fingers from above. Nishant could not stand still now. From the far end of the flyover, Nishant saw a vehicle approaching. It had red light on the top. Oh shucks, holy Christ, it was the police. They were coming after him. The sirens were blazing. He was going to be arrested. वो कौन है? प्रथमेश, देविका, सूरज, कार्तिक. They were all sitting inside the police vehicle. They were all pointing fingers at Nishant. I have to run. Run. Nishant began to run. Faster and faster. The police jeep too increased its speed. Nishant couldn't see anything in front of him. The world was darkening. He took one final leap from the flyover. While handing over Nishant's body to Mansi, the policeman told her that as Nishant jumped into the river, he was shrieking at the top of his voice. मुझे इंग्लिश नहीं आती है. मुझे इंग्लिश नहीं आती है.